I, 27 male, and my ex-fiance is a 25-year-old woman. We had a fairly decent relationship for 5 years and planned to marry in fall of 2025. No kids. We both have professional jobs, shared and individual interests, and our own group of friends. We probably would have had a nice life together. I've always known about her excessive and over the top fear of insects, especially spiders and worms, and I've always had done my best to be sensitive about this. Complete avoidance is as possible. One evening at a friend's house, we were sitting out on the back patio with another couple talking, roasting marshmallows, having a few beers, and having a nice night. The next thing I remember is waking up in the ER with her crying and explaining what happened. She saw a non-venomous spider on my forehead that I wasn't even aware of, and freaked out. She picked up a cheap metal container that held a citronella candle and proceeded to bash my forehead, she thinks 5 times, until she was sure that the spider was gone. The result was staples, internal brain trauma, and second-degree burns all over my face. It's been 6 months since this happened. I laughed so hard the first time I read this. It's been 6 months since this happened, and the burn scars are still slightly visible. I could tell that she genuinely felt bad, and after a couple of days of rest, I really felt bad for her too. I didn't want to see her feeling guilty for her compulsion, but at the same time, after thinking and talking to friends, I decided it was best to call the engagement off. I explained that I really didn't blame her, and also that I didn't want her to blame herself for my injuries. But I personally didn't want to go through another situation like that again. A few days later, after failing to convince me to change my mind, she left and I haven't heard from her since. It's been 6 months since the event, and of course I miss her, but I'm wondering if I was wrong here. She had freaked out in the past when insects had scared her, but never to the point of harming anyone. She wasn't able to explain why she had reacted like this. She was not drunk, and the people whose house we were at were very close friends. I really don't understand, but it has caused lasting damage to me. Edit. I've had and responded to several of questions about my friends. Rather than keep responding, I'll just add it here, whatever. I largely didn't include anything about them because couldn't do much. My longtime friend, the guy who was the one who took the candle from her, and his wife called 911. I was sitting next to my ex, and the couple was directly across the fire pit. According to my friend, it happened fast and unexpectedly. Sounds like the paramedics were less than 10 minutes after it happened. Neither of them remember seeing a spider or any other bug, and both said that my ex freaked out when she saw what she'd done to me and like she didn't remember. But she did remember because she told me the story in the hospital. In any event, the guy is the one who strongly supported me when I decided to leave her.
Good God.
I mean, obviously he's not the asshole, but that's
because we cannot get married until you get this worked out and figured out some
No,
way.
we can't get married.
I fear for my life.
Internal brain trauma,
which is the only reason. The only reason he thinks that maybe he made a mistake was probably the internal brain trauma. Let's be clear there.
Yeah, he has a concussion, obviously. Like,
when you get knocked out, you're concussed. It's kind of like,
why more than once? That was my question. Like,
to make sure she got it.
After you see, like, you basically bashed your boyfriend's head with a citronella candle. That's like.
It was the girlfriend by the fire pit with the candlestick.
Exactly.
Dude.
And this sounds more like
the perfect scenario to attack her boyfriend at this point.
Yeah, right. And like the line, like, I didn't want her to blame herself for my. No, she's directly at fault.
Yeah.
Let her blame herself because that's her fault.
You should also definitely blame her for beating you in the face 5 times with a metal citronella candle.
5 times she thinks.
Right.
Dude, right?
Which means it could have been like 7 or 8. She just don't know.
It depends on how fast she is, how many times she can whack him before they can get across the fire to stop her.
Yeah. His friend had to take it out of her hand. Like, she was probably still swinging when dude came up to like grab her.
Yeah.
Because I was like, you had to pull her off of him at that point. It was just like, give that to, okay, we're gonna.
I would press charges. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
That feels like a scene from a horror movie where like someone's cursed and they start seeing shit that's not there and they freak out and then find out like they bashed their boyfriend's head in.
For real, dude.
So that means she needs to get checked mentally, not
Oh,
just for
definitely.
phobia, but also for.
No, I'd have that bitch committed. What the
Yeah,
fuck?
there's some.
Mm-mm.
If I wake up in the hospital to find out I got my face beat in because you thought there was a spider on my forehead that nobody else saw, nigga, what?
Like, this spider just up and disappeared. Just
That better be like a venomous spider like that. That better have been like a fucking tarantula.
He did
Just sitting on my
specify
head.
but yeah,
non-venomous.
he specified that it
He
wasn't
did.
venomous.
So
that she
did
knew
she describe
that.
what it looked like? Or
That's why I was
No, he
like,
didn't.
He
there's
figure out it
so
was
many things that are
non-venomous?
not adding up at that point.
I don't know,
Because
and
if
I'm like,
she
I'm not
described
sure.
not that, but nobody
Yeah.
saw that in time. Like, there's a lot of.
I'm betting it was like a fucking daddy long legs. Like honestly,
yeah.
like
But
Well,
if
actually,
because like
daddy long
otherwise,
legs
like
are venomous.
the
It's just their mouth is so small they can't bite you. But
right, like the only thing that I can think of is like a scary spider, like a wolf spider. But I don't even think those are venomous. Honestly, are they?
No.
I can't remember.
No, because they use them in order to harvest like cranberries. So they will release hundreds of them into the field in order to keep like pests and stuff. And so when they flood the field, the workers have to realize you have to be okay with it.
I remember
They
that.
want spiders jumping on you and clamping and biting on you because they want to get away from the water. But they're not like harmful necessarily. It's just a reaction.
I could never have that job.
Yeah. And they're like, they get paid amazingly, but I could never do it.
No, I don't care how much you're
what's
paying me.
amazingly?
Like some of them get like 6 figures, depending on like where they work for. But like
I
6
gotta be
figures.
outside all day.
That's got to be like at least mid 6 figures for
Yeah.
me to consider
Like-
it. Like if it's just 100K, no, fuck you, fuck you, no.
It's one of those like for 100K I might, but then I'm like, but that means I like working from home, bro. Like just-
Me too.
the
not going
real,
anywhere.
the real kicker, the thing that's really keeping me away from it isn't the spider. It's I like being able to just get up and walk over here and be at work.
Like I don't like
you-
spiders, but I'm just running away. Like
you
I'm
want me
not
to be
fighting
outside
a
all day
spider.
with spiders jumping on me and biting for let's say 8 hours a day, my annual salary is going to have to put me in that Biden-Harris tax bracket.
Oh yeah,
for
it's over.
capital
It's
gains.
gonna be.
I want to be
over
mad
5.
about my taxes. Yeah.
Yes.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I want to be mad, but
Someone need
still
that.
on vacation while I'm mad.
Yeah, exactly. I
Like,
want to
'cause I'm mad.
complain from my villa about my taxes. Like
Exactly.
that's what's
Exactly. That's the
Because
one.
I'm mad about my taxes now too, dude, but that's just because I don't like people
Two
fucking with my
difference.
money. But
Yeah.
especially now, because I lived in Florida for 10 years, and then I was in in Texas for 7 more years, and then came over here, and all of a sudden I got state income taxes again. I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Sorry. I don't know.
I know
I've
you're
had
used
them
to it.
forever,
I know. I have no room to really complain about it because you've been living with it forever,
like-
and I did for a
right.
while too before I moved to Florida. So it's just I got 17 years of no state income taxes, and
I
then
feel you, but also
I know
there's
I
like
know.
5 states that don't do income tax.
I know,
Like, and you already ran through 2 of them.
I know.
So sorry, bud. At least you get some of it back.
I'm just trying to imagine how anyone
Like
could frame-
$100.
Actually, I got it was $98 that I got back.
Literally, that's what I was like.
From the state income taxes. It was
It's
$98.
always $100. It's
Yeah.
always like around that. Yeah. They're like,
just trying to
here's your
imagine-
change.
how anyone could possibly frame the dude who got his brain bashed in as the asshole in that scenario.
Yeah,
Oh, I don't know. I found that story really funny, so that's why I saved it. But because some of these I like
am
when
I
they're
the
like,
asshole for finding this story funny?
I don't think so. But yeah, no, some of these like I read it, and I'm like, that's just fucking hilarious that you would even think that you're the asshole to begin with.
Also, this is
No.
why I don't go camping.
I would have immediately called for security after she told me that story. immediately. Like just pressing the nurse button while she's fucking telling me it.
When's the last time you went camping, Matt?
Pre-Zoe, I bougie camp, so we got a cabin.
Oh, you clamp?
Yeah.
Well,
you know.
he has to. Well, one, he convinced me because they had a coffee maker in there. But he has sleep apnea, and I will not sleep next to him if he does not have the machine.
Yeah, you have to. That makes sense.
So yeah, so I got a cabin, and all of our friends stayed in tents, and we just drove down to visit them.
But I brought them
every
coffee.
day.
It's
And
like
then
peace offering. Yeah.
back up to our cabin with AC. And
When's the last time you
beds.
camped in a tent?
Probably would have been when I did that really dumb version of Christian Boy Scouts in grade school.
Oh, it was that far ago. Okay.
Oh yeah, no, Travis. Again, seasonal outdoor allergies. I don't go in the woods and fucking hang out for no reason.
My dad used to refuse to eat on outdoor patios. So, no, we never went camping as a child.
I grew up camping, so it was,
I would have loved to, but
I don't sleep on the ground.
Air mattress.
It's what air mat. Yeah,
I was
Okay,
gonna say
back-
air mattresses,
How long has an air mattress been a
sleeping
thing? Now?
bag.
for at least
For
like
a
20
long
years,
time.
bro.
Like,
Longer
I
than
remember
20
using
I'm
it
years.
in Cub Scouts,
37,
bro.
so if we say 20 years, I was 17.
Longer than 20 years.
Longer than that, because we used them when I was in Cub Scouts. Like, and not Boy Scouts, Cub Scouts. We had them. So
We did not. We had a sleeping bag. I didn't even know about air mattresses. I feel like I didn't learn about air mattresses until I was in high school.
they were just letting you suffer then, bro.
It was a lot of Girl Scouts too, though. We had tents and sleeping bags, unless we went to our official campsite area where they had like cabins and cots, and you had the choice if you wanted to do either or.
Yeah. One of the first things we did when we met each other was go camping.
Aww.
It's true.
I'd love to go camping. I want to go back to where we went in Indiana and take Zoe. It was really cool. It was like it had a river and there was like a giant bluff. And it was huge and it was super cool. And like our cabin was on top of it. It was cool. So we could just look down and see all of our friends in their stupid little tents. Like,
No.
But I say it's the one thing you can do.
you don't have to fucking come, bro.
One thing you do with kids too is a place we used to go when I was a kid, Yogi Bear, Jellystone, where it's like they have a lot of activity and stuff like paddle boats and all that kind of stuff to do with kids and all that. It's cool. It was also
Here's why I say no. We went camping. This is the first time I had ever done mushrooms. And while camping and doing mushrooms,
I wasn't there, but I heard about this.
We watched our friend Chris look down the river on a raft.
Every year that pops up on my Facebook feed.
And then my wife and
somebody
one of
had
our
to
other
go get
friends
him.
decide they're going to go walk down the river to try and fucking find him. So now I
We
am on
did.
shrooms in a campsite waiting for my wife to return from the wilderness, having no idea. And I'm the entire time I'm like, I don't know how do I tell her parents that I lost her in Indiana, that she floated down the river.
They know me. You could have just told them the story of what happened and been like,
we weren't married yet. We were still dating. Like we were.
Was this the
married.
same trip where you were like rocking people in the hammocks and shit?
Yes.
You were fucked up? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those were
And
nice
then
hammocks.
now you want me to go do that again, but have my daughter near those raging rapids that sucked a grown-ass man down a river? No.
Okay, one, Chris was stupid. First of all, and the only reason he didn't make it to that rock is because there are snakes all on it.
Put your kid on the leash, bro.
I've
But
actually
if I do
advocated for that.
recall, you did swim in that river anyway. So
Yeah.
Well, you said you advocated for putting the kid on the leash. It's okay. You don't want to put the kid on the leash.
I mean,
it's not
I'm
a good
pretty
look,
free
but-
range parent to begin with.
I was put on a leash
So-
when I was a kid. So
I mean, if we're like in Disney World or like somewhere where there's a lot of people where
Yeah,
like,
that's where I
and
was.
if she was a big runner, then yeah, 100%. But she's not that big of a runner. Although
See,
I
I
was
would
about to put
see
her on a fucking
things-
leash yesterday when we went to the mall because I swear to God, they're kid.
Yeah, I would see things and get curious and just like, and I just go and see what it is. And
Yeah.
so they had to put a leash on me, but it was the one that went around my wrist. It wasn't the backpack.
The backpack.
Yeah.
The backpack one probably would have been better, but it was
Yeah,
one of
'cause
the
you
guys
just
walk away and you're
yank
like,
Exactly.
Just
Get back here.
yeah.
the fucking
Is
dog
it
choke
illegal
collar.
to just handcuff your child to yourself?
I don't think so. I mean, I don't
Because
think
I know,
so.
I know if I handcuff Zoe to me, you wouldn't walk with us because you give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
No,
about
that'd
people
be
staring at me and
embarrassing as
looking at me.
shit.
I give zero shits if people are staring at me, looking at me weird, as long as that child is safe and at my side.
The shitty
let me
part
tell you-
about if that was an example and that actually happened, she looks too much like me for me to go, that's not my kid. Like, I can't
They
even
can
do
try.
it.
They can try and snatch her, but they ain't dragging 300 plus pounds of me with her. So
That's true. That's true. Well, like we were coming back from Tennessee and we were in a truck stop. I don't like truck stops. I'm sure, Monty, you know, as women, fuck truck stops. They're terrifying.
I'm pro
And it was-
bucking, but I don't think that's considered.
Yeah,
a truck stop.
no, it wasn't. It was a random ass truck stop. So like I take her to the bathroom. We're walking out. We're looking at the toys. This old man is behind us, walking behind us through like the toy section. And
I'm in the
I
bathroom.
don't fucking play with that shit. I don't give a fuck if I'm going to embarrass you, old man. I don't care. I literally, once Matt came out, I walked up to him. I'm like, take her hand. Don't let her go because that dude keeps fucking following us. And dude turned around and went to the deli. And I'm like, bro, I'm not afraid to punch you. I will do it. It's just terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. And she's cute. She loves everybody. She'll go with
Like,
fucking
she could
anybody.
go off with you. You'd be like,
Yeah.
I can't do that.
No.
Which is why we're putting her in karate.
Yeah, she starts
That's right.
karate tomorrow.
That's awesome.
I don't know.
Is it
about that.
tomorrow? No,
So-
it's Mondays.
It is, but I got a message saying not enough kids signed up, so they will let us know when classes start that they were indefinitely delayed. So we will see.
Oh.
Boo.
We'll have to find like a karate place around here because she likes
We can
it,
go
so.
to like their place in Deer Park. It's just the one at the school isn't going to happen, and I'll have to take her on Wednesdays at like 9 a.m. So we'll see.
We'll see. Anyway, yeah, we'll come back to that later.
But
All
yeah,
right.
I was kind of kid to talk to everybody too. It's funny because I do the exact opposite now because I hate people. But back then, I was very much a people person.
I was not. I literally told my mom to stop talking to strangers in grocery stores. We lived in a small
Me and my
town. They
mother.
weren't strangers, but I was like, stop talking to people. I want to go home.
Thank you. It was like,
Like-
we've been here for too long. Let's go.
Mhm. Like, stop talking. Let's go. I don't want to sit here for you jabbering. No, not going to do it. She knew everybody. It was a small ass town. I didn't want to be there.